and welcome to your Christmas cracker, Pilates style. I've got my bobbly presents on, I've got my Christmas jumper, I've got my Santa earrings, and I've got a very affectionate cat. So this is just a really short program that if you want to do at home you can. You can do all of the exercises or pick and choose as you please. As always, I will offer different options and levels for each move. So yeah, I'm going to start on all fours so that we can start with a gentle cat-cow stretch. So we're going to start with the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. We're going to tuck the tailbone, tuck the head, curl into your cat stretch, and then into your cow on the in-breath. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone, tucking the head. Inhaling, dropping the back down and lifting the head and tailbone. Now if your back is feeling tight, don't drop too low into your cat stretch. Just maybe come to neutral. Okay, one more time, coming up into your cat stretch. Staying in that cat stretch now, we're going to sink the bottom towards the heels and then come back over the wrists. And again, coming down towards the heels and up. One more time in your cat stretch, still down towards the heels and up, resting the weight over the wrists. We're going to bring the hands just a little bit narrower than the shoulders. We're going to slide the shoulders away from the ears and rock your pelvis into your neutral. You're going to engage through your belt there to keep you nice and secure, and we're going to do some press ups, bringing the elbows tight to the body, so they're going to come back towards you as you go down. And as you press the floor away, you're going to breathe out. So it's an in-breath to come down, out-breath to press the floor away. Now you want to try and keep the crease of your elbow facing forwards, and you want to keep your elbows tight to the body rather than taking them out to the sides. This is going to make sure we target those tricep muscles at the backs of the arms. Try not to let the bottom sink back. Keep it resting over your knees. Your belt is switched on the whole time. We're going to do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, no. And 1. Coming up, taking the wrists out to shoulder width apart again. Making sure that our alignment's still there, so the shoulders are still down, spine is still neutral, engaging through that belt. We're going to slide the opposite arm and leg away along the mat and bring them in. We're making this very difficult to do. And in now. Try and extend along the floor and then back in. If you want to, you can add your lift, but you extend first and then little lift at the end. Coming back and in. Extending and then little lift. Couple more like that. Extending, little lift and in. Now you can stay with this, or we're going to add a little bit of a stretch for the spine again. So we're going to extend the arm and leg away, little lift, then elbow and knee are going to draw in towards each other as you curl up. Extend back to neutral. And then place them back underneath you. So we lengthen, lift, coming under to a stretch, lengthening away, and in. Are you watching? Making sure I'm doing it right. Now as you come in, try and draw in your belt to really tuck your tailbone for that stretch. Lengthen, and back. 1 more to either side, lengthen, little lift, in underneath you, lengthen away, and back. Last time, lengthen, lift, tuck underneath you, lengthen back out, slide it underneath you, staying on all fours if you can. If you need to rest the wrists at any point, drop into a child pose and just circle out. But if you can, we're staying on all fours, tucking the toes. We're going to do our leg pull. So we're going to draw in those lower abdominals, draw in that belt muscle, and we're going to hover these ever so slightly off the floor and then bring them down. So the breath with this is to exhale as you lift, Inhale as you lower. Try to avoid curling the back or shoulders as you come up. Shoulders stay down, spine stays in neutral, lifting and lowering. Now you can stay here, this is your option one, or you can start to come up and hold. Or if you wish, you can extend one leg out, other leg out, so you're in your plank. Bring the first knee in, bring the second knee in. Now lead with the other leg. Leg goes out, joins. Oh, wrong leg in first. First leg in, second leg. So always alternating your lead leg. And you can stay here if you wish, or you can come out into a plank and you can do your toe taps to the side. Shoulders stay down away from the ear. Belt stays pulled in. We're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulders down, 4, 3, last 2, last ones to each side. Slide one leg in, then the other leg, drop down into a child pose, walk the hands away into a stretch. Take some nice big breaths to settle the breath, settle the heart rate. Walk the hands over to the left, leave your bottom on your heels. Place the right hand on the left if you can. Yeah. Take some nice big breaths there. Then we're walking the hands over the cat to the right hand side, left hand on top of right. Taking some breaths there, dropping the head between the arms if you can and you haven't got a cat, trying to get you to make a fuss. Then walking back to center. One last walk away with the fingers, head between your arms. Then bringing the arms in, bending, dropping them down beside you. Now you can stay here as long as you like for a nice stretch for your back and your hips. Or I'm going to slide out now and do some chalk circles. So we slide out onto our sides. Knees are up level with the hips, shins are straight down. We're going to push the top hip away so we get a little gap between our floor and the underneath waist. We're going to fix our hips and knees by pulling in the belt. And then we're going to trail the fingers as close to the floor as we can. As we pass the ear, we're going to twist towards that arm, looking towards it without the knees lifting. All the way around. Back over the bottom. Oh, I've lost my presents, the cat's got them. All the way around. No, they're not for toys. And again, sweeping around, all the way. Go that way, my darling. And again, you can do as many of these as you like. I always encourage people to do as many as it takes to free up that arm. So when you get to the point when you think, I'm not going to get any closer to the floor, I've freed up that arm as much as I can. That's where you stop. We're going to open the arms out towards the ceiling there, draw in your belt and pull the knees up to centre. Bring the knees to hip distance apart. Arms are out in a crucifix position if you can see that, palms up. We're going to do some hip rolls here. So we find our neutral spine first. So we've got a little bit of an arch in that lower back. Hips and quads are relaxed. We're going to draw in our belt. Knees go one way, head goes the other. And then we come to centre and go the other way. So this is your option one with the feet flat on the floor. Always coming back to a neutral spine in the middle. To make it a little bit harder, you float the heels off the mat. Toes are touching, but they're very light on the floor, so you're hanging the weight of those legs off your pelvis and working through your core to maintain your neutral as you do that. So head goes opposite way to your arms. And if you want to make it harder from there, you bring one leg and then the other leg to your neutral, to your double leg, and then we go from there. Always making sure you come through neutral in the centre and then going the other way. And up. Couple more to either side. Coming to centre there, placing one foot down, then the other. We're going to do our scissor movement. So option one is you pick up the heel, bring the leg up, and you're hinging the leg down towards the floor, and then up, down, and then up. Okay, so keeping the knee joint at 90 degrees, not bending from the knee. Okay, and option two is you bring the second knee up to tabletop and then you alternate sides. Now if you want to stay in a single leg, I would suggest doing probably half a dozen or a dozen on one side and then switching. You can always go back to the first side if you've got a few more in you. Trying to keep the spine as neutral as you can, so making sure that as the leg comes down, you don't lift the spine away from the floor. It stays perfectly parked in neutral. We're not resting the foot, it just taps the floor and comes back up. Shoulders away from the ears, and you're really engaging that belt muscle in your lower abdominals. Couple more to either side. So arms here can be down beside the body. Obviously I'm making a fuss of the cat. Can be down beside the body, or if you like to make it harder, they can be up towards the ceiling, so you've not got that stability through your arms and through the floor. We're going to do one more to either side. And then we're going straight to single leg. Okay, so that's where you extend the leg away and then bring it back. Extend and back. Arms, like I say, can either stay up or you can bring them down beside the body with the palms facing you or the ceiling, so you're nice and open across the chest. If you're in single leg, you just lengthen the leg away and back, again doing maybe a dozen, half a dozen on one side and then switching, making sure that you lift the heel, drawing your belt and float the knee each time you switch sides, or you stay in your single leg. Next we're going to do a couple more to either side. And coming back, placing one leg down then the other, or evening up if you're in single leg. And then we're rolling onto the other side to do our chalk circle. So you can just roll over and face the other way. I'm going to spin round and see if I can get away from the cat for a moment. So arms are out in front, knees are up level with your hips. No, it's not worked. We're going to push that top hip away so you have a little gap underneath your waist and the floor. And then it's an out breath as you start to draw your circle, following it around with your eyes as it comes past your ear, all the way around and back to the start. Now keeping your belt engaged is going to help you to keep your hips and knees nice and still, so that you make sure the movement comes from your waist and from your shoulder, so thoracic spine and shoulder. I've got a wall in the way as well, it's not going well today. but trying to stay as close to the floor as you can. And that means that you have to lift up to avoid your knees splaying or sliding. That's fine. Try and find enough space that you don't hit a wall though. Good. One more time, sweeping around. Staying out towards the ceiling this time, so you can draw in your belt, draw your knees. Back to centre, back to hip distance. We're going to finish with a shoulder bridge. So we find our neutral first. Nice and relaxed through the legs. If your hamstrings get very tight, make sure your feet are closer to your bottom than normal, okay? We're going to draw in the belt, squeeze the bottom, and then we tip the hips, so we flatten the spine into the mat, and we peel the spine up off the mat towards the ceiling. Lifting up, and then slowly curling back down. And again, tipping the hips, squeezing the bottom before you start, peeling up off the floor. This time, if you wish to, caught up in the cat. The arms are going to come up towards the ceiling. Now you're going to reach the hands away as if you're trying to get your fingertips to touch the ceiling. Then you curl back down, tailbone touching down, last and rolling back to neutral. One more time. We're going to bring the arms down to start. Draw in your belt, squeeze your bottom, tip your hips and curl up to your shoulder bridge. Arms come up, reach them towards the ceiling and then curl back down. Roll to neutral, arms relax. Now we're going to do it slightly differently. We're going to bring the hips straight up towards the ceiling. So you squeeze your bottom, drive the hips straight up. Now you're going to lower them a little bit and squeeze them up. Lower a little bit, squeeze the bottom and push them back up. We're going to do 10, squeeze, 9. Now you can leave your arms down if you like. Or you can take the arms up towards the ceiling so you're not pressing through the arms to help get the hips up. It's up to you. 5, 4, squeeze the bottom, 3, 2. Make sure your bottom doesn't relax as you drop down, keep it tight. And then take the bottom all the way to the floor. Relax the arms down. One more set like that. So arms either stay down or lifted. Squeeze the bottom, take the hips straight up and lower and up. So like I say, don't let the bottom relax when you lower the hips. Keep it tight so that you're controlling the move on the way down and on the way up. We're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, squeeze the bottom, 4, 3, don't let your hips flare either, okay? 2, my counting's as good as it is in classes, and 1, rest the bottom down, bring the arms down, hug the knees in, rock gently from side to side. And that is all. Come to the side, come slowly to seated. So that is a very short little routine, but it pretty much targets everywhere that you might want to work. It's got a bit of abs, got some mobility for your upper back, some nice rolling through the spine with those shoulder bridge. So hopefully covering off all of your areas of strength and mobility that you want to work over Christmas. If there's anything else that you need, oh, I've lost me Christmas parcels. If there's anything else you would like over the Christmas period, obviously let me know. There is a couple of other videos I'm going to be doing. But yes, if there's anything particular, do let me know. Otherwise, Merry Christmas to you all and Happy New Year if I don't see you between Christmas and New Year. And I will see you in 2020.